This is Project 5, the state vending machine. Working pretty long time on this. This is some of my code here from what I did. Condominium Estates. What I was really after was the ISIM results for the test benches I made. I have them all open down here. I'm going to go through them all. There's 9 of them in total. And this will be the first one we do. This one was very simple. It was just basically put in 15 cents, hit the input LI, and see if it gave me an LO. So let's get into it. First input we did was a dime in, then a nickel, then I hit LI, and it gave me an L out. I already went through and checked all these states, but I have my state table right here. So I went through and checked them. I'm going to pause on the screen for just a second, so if you'd like to pause and look at it and check over it. I included the state table in my lab, so it'll be in there if you would like to go back and check that. That was a pretty basic one, so let's move on to number 2. Number 2 was a little bit more. I'm putting in 20 cents this time, and then hit LI, and I should input LI and then give me a nickel out. Okay, so right here we put in a dime. Oh, I'm sorry, a nickel. Put in another dime, or a dime rather, and then another nickel. Then I pressed LI, output LO turned on, and got a nickel right there. So that worked pretty good. Basically how I set this up, I got my sheet here, is we have different states. I have a 15-cent state, a 20-cent state, 30-cent state, 35, and this is all the possible results that you could do with those. Also at the end I'll do some coin return. But that one right there was the 20-cent state, so next we'll go to the 25-cent state, which is this one. For that one you can buy 2 different things. I only have one labeled here, but I put both of them in there. That's going to be in test bench 3. So let's go do that now. This is test bench 3. Okay, so the first one is trying to buy lifesavers. So the first thing I did was put in a quarter. When the quarter went in, I pressed LI. I should get L out and a dime out, which I did. It's fantastic. Resets back to A. At the end of that, then we put in another dime, put in a nickel, another dime, hit GI to get gum, and it gives me G out. Fantastic. And then resets. Pretty good there. Then we do 30-cent state, or yes, 30-cent state. That will be number 4 on the test benches. Okay, so for 30-cent state, first thing we did, I put a quarter in, put a nickel in, I hit LI, and then hit LO. He gave me my dime, or I'm sorry, I got LO out, gave me my lifesavers. I then got a dime and a nickel. It was 15-cent product, so that math works out pretty good. Okay, for this next one, to get 30 cents, I put in a dime, another dime, and then yet another dime, which gives me 30. I then pressed this one right here, which is GI, gum, and got gum out, which is that one right there. Okay, and right here, I have the nickel out. So good stuff there. Good stuff all around. And now there's one more thing you can buy, chips. So went and did that, scroll over. Okay, I put in a quarter, which is this one right here. Quarter right there. Then I put in a nickel, I believe. Yep. Then I hit the chips input, which is CI, right there. And got chips out. Beautiful. Alright, that's all for the 30-cent state. So now we go into the Big Daddy, the 35-cent state, which is basically the most money you should be able to put into this thing and the most expensive product you can buy. This is going to be the 35-cent state, and I believe that is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th. This is part 5A. This was, I made it into 2 because it's kind of big. So the first thing we did for the 35 state is I put in a quarter, I put in a dime, I hit my Lifesavers input. I got a Lifesavers out and 2 dimes out. So, yes, 2 dimes out. 35 cent and a 15 cent product. I needed 2 dimes. Also notice I have 2 pulse width dimes, not just 100 nanosecond dime output there. It's 2 ones. Okay, so scroll over. Okay. Next one should be gum, 20 cent. We come up here. I'll put in a quarter and a dime again. Later I'll fluctuate and get to 35 cent differently, but for space saving purposes, I only did dimes or quarters and dimes right here to get to 35 cent. But it all works the same. It takes me to the same spot. I put in a quarter. Put in a it's jumping. Let me recenter. There we go. Okay, I put in a quarter. I put in a dime. I hit G out, which is the gum input, and I got G out. And then next clock pulse, I get my dime out. That's good stuff. Alright, scroll over just a little bit more. Okay, and here, yet again, I put in a quarter, put in a dime. That gets me to 35 cent. I hit chips in, and got chips out. And then got my nickel out. Good stuff. Seems to be working really well so far. Going into the next one, this is the part B. So there's 2 left that I can buy. It's the Snickers and the Milky Way. So here, like I said, I used a different method to get to 35 cent. I put in a dime, a nickel, another dime, and then another dime. I hit my Snickers input and got my Snickers out. I haven't been leaving it. I'll go back at the end of this video and I'll do freeze frames on them. That way you can check these states here. But like I said, there's pictures of all this in my report, so you can blow those up and look at them too if you'd like. Okay, last part of this, I put in a quarter and 2 nickels right there. Quarter, nickel, nickel. Alright, and then I hit my Milky Way input and got a Milky Way out. Good stuff. Okay, these last 2 here are overpaying, so if somebody puts too much money in the machine, it should give it back to them and revert back down to 35 cent. So on this first one, I did a quarter, did a dime, and did a nickel, and then immediately got a nickel back out. Then just to make sure it still worked, I hit SI, get my Snickers input, and I got a Snickers out. Alright, next. Scroll over. Okay. Alright, for this one I put in a dime right there. Put in a dime. Then I put in a quarter, which is the second one. Put in another dime. And what does it spit back out? Instantly spits out another dime. Then I went and I did Snickers input, Snickers out. It's good stuff. Scroll over just a tad bit more to this last one. Okay, this last one, I put in a quarter. Then I put in another quarter. It took me up to 50 cent, but the machine immediately kicked out a dime, and then a nickel. So then I could buy my Milky Way, and got the Milky Way out. Part B, I believe is what this is. Dime in, nickel in, dime. Okay, this last one was put in 55 cent. So I did right here I did a dime, nickel, which is 30, dime and another nickel, which is, or 15 rather, and then 15 more. And this right here is a quarter, as you can see. And it immediately kicks me out 2 dimes. So dime out and dime out. So 2 different pulse widths there. Show that. Then I come down here, and just to test it, because I haven't yet, I hit CR, my coin return button, and it dropped all coins, CRO. Good stuff. That was part B to test bench 6. Testing change back. And this last one, basically what I want to do is go back through and make sure that my coin return was working properly. So I did dime in, hit CR, CR dropped. Good stuff. Okay, put a quarter in, nickel, hit CR. That puts me in the 30-cent state right there, by the way. CR, got CR out. That worked fine. Last one, I did a little, wanted to make sure that it was working on the 35-cent state, or in a 40-cent state, or rather reverting from the 40-cent state. So what I did was I put in a quarter, which is that. I put in a dime, a nickel, and then got a nickel back, CR, and it still worked. So it's good stuff. That's everything I had. That tested all possible states that I could imagine for this thing. If you have any questions or you would like to see me do something else with it, please shoot me an email or let me know, and I'll upload another video for you. Thanks, Steve.